Hello there. Welcome to the Space Limited Accomplishments Interval. I'm Lance Ash, and this is Bonnie Ash.
Hello.
And heading back to work after a 4-day weekend.
Why did you have a 4-day weekend, Lance?
Okay, I already had off Thursday night, but what would that have been? It would have been my Wednesday, Tuesday night. First of all, there was some difficulty with them putting the leave in. Various supervisors don't have full access to the computer system to put people's leave in and so forth. So I'm trying to make sure that this leave is properly put in. And around, I think it was 2:30 at night, I just went into a fog. And, I didn't go unconscious. I didn't black out, but it's like you're in a dream, and you're walking around dazed. And I kept looking at my watch thinking, what time is it now? What time is it now? It's only been 60 seconds. What time is it now? And I just was totally, So I kind of snapped out of it after, 15 minutes or so. And I thought, oh, that was bad. So when I finally got one of the supervisors who knew what she was doing, I said, look, let's change it to 16 hours, okay? I'm going to take, because I'm messed up here. So she changed it to 16 hours, so I had a 4-day weekend instead of 3. And so it turned out really, really well, because this last 4 days have just been fantastic. I got so much done and just had such a good time, just looking at art and listening to music and painting and drawing, playing the guitar. So anyway, how was it for you, Bonnie?
It was good. I got my Sturgill Simpson albums. Of course, you didn't listen to them. And,
not really my thing, sorry.
You're not into country or bluegrass. I had a micromanagement weekend. Color sorting things. It was bad. I got a lot of things organized, micro-organized. I was a busy little bee, as you put it. Mm-hmm. Of course, you put it other ways, too. Don't you?
Yeah. We I don't know. We like to watch something on the computer while we eat breakfast together or whatever. And we kind of got sick and tired of late night. So then we were watching Endeavor for a while, but that's over with. So I thought, well, something. How about David Attenborough? One of his documentaries. And the first one we watched was really good. And
Wait a minute. It was really sad and really depressing.
Oh, well, it was still good.
It was visually beautiful.
Yeah.
But after about 45 minutes, I was crying.
Yeah. But every subsequent one we've tried the music is overwhelming. It's like, well, here, the producers of the documentary are like, well, we need to really emphasize this thing happening. So
it is a battle of the sexes. It is a battle.
So throw in some music when the tree falls, or throw in some music when the bird takes flight for the first time.
Yeah, but that was only on the Netflix. It was truly overwrought.
Well, the one we watched today about the rise of the pterosaurs, it had some overwhelming crap in there.
It wasn't as bad as the Netflix one.
No. The ones where he's just narrating, he doesn't appear, those are the worst.
Yeah.
But the ones where he's actually in it and laying down on the beach next to the tortoise or whatever, those are good. So I think we've probably reached a dead end with that too now.
Honestly, I'm tired of watching television.
I know.
Or rather, videos online. We gave up TV a while. You know what I found in the closet the other day when I was going through and getting rid of some stuff?
Besides dead mouse?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That damn mouse. No, I found the television.
What television?
We had a television in what's now your studio. And we tried to
Oh.
find places around the house to put it. And we put it into the library at one point, and it just sat there. And we didn't care that it wasn't hooked up. So we tried to hook it up. We got it hooked up. We put something in. And then we went back to not caring. Because we just didn't want to sit down and watch the damn TV.
Well, the thing is, if we ate like at the dining table together, the way we eat, you know, like say we were going to sit down and we're going to talk to each other while we eat. The meal will be over in 5 minutes because that's the way we eat. It's like, get the food down and get on with your job or whatever.
I've made an effort in the last week to sit down at the dining table and to slow my eating down, to focus on what I'm eating, to focus on what I'm biting into, and even to read a little bit sometimes at the table to try to help me slow down. So,
Yeah. Well,
lately I've been waiting to eat until I'm absolutely starved, and so it's really hard to keep it slow.
yeah. I'm trying to think what we ate this weekend.
We had spaghetti.
Oh, that
We
was
had
great.
salad.
Spaghetti and Caesar salad
Did
with
we have
garlic bread.
pizzas this weekend?
No, we didn't have pizza. No.
No. I thought we had a black olive pizza.
Was that
Was that over the weekend?
was
or was it
4
prior?
days? So you know,
It's hard to say
maybe we did that very first day.
Oh, we had the Indian rice with the yogurt. I remember
Yeah, that was good. Well, that was the first day because I had already taken some to work.
Yeah. That
So
made
it was like a
fresh batch
last-
when we got
yeah.
home. And I know I ate a lot of strawberries this weekend.
I'll tell you.
Oh, blueberry scones. More blueberry scones. More blueberry scones. Didn't Reed come by this weekend?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I made blueberry scones with her.
Well,
Also.
I'll tell all you people out there in YouTube land something. When I worked at the Athens facility, I wouldn't take a lunch most of the time, or if I did, it was some sort of vestigial thing, like a little bag of baby carrots or something. And I tried to continue that policy when I was working up here, but for some reason, I guess because the job is so much harder up in Atlanta, I found that I couldn't go without eating. So in Athens for a while, I kept a bag of saltines and a jar of peanut butter and a knife in my locker, and that's what I would eat at lunch. And but now I bring a full, something Bonnie makes every time. Anything?
We did not go out to eat.
You made bread. You made a loaf of wheat bread.
Yeah, 5 seed bread. It's got 2 types of flaxseed and 2 types of sesame seed and poppy seeds and oats.
I try not to eat at night when I'm at home because if I eat, I immediately get sleepy. And but I did get some good painting done and some good drawing done. Played guitar really, really well. I never should have started this new album project because then you feel compelled to start the next song after you've done one, and I shouldn't feel that way. Ugh.
Oh, you did a great face on one of your paintings last night.
Yeah, I've gotten really very detailed and picky with my drawing, and I'm trying to let that attitude spill over into the painting. Well, the reason that it was such a better face than I've painted in a while is because I took the bother of doing lots of little layers of very thinned down paint, so it's almost like layers of watercolor. The reason that's a problem is because I have to lay the canvas in my lap to keep the paint from running, from running down the canvas. And in the old days, say 10, 15 years ago, I would, when I was doing layers of not just black and white, but I guess all the different layers, I would thin the paint down and then use a bigger brush and whip it up into like a foamy, frothy mix. And when you do that, the paint sticks. Even if it's very loose and watery, it'll stick to the canvas long enough to dry, and it gives it a different sort of effect. But I just don't. That's back when I was painting on larger canvases and painting standing up. And when I look back at some of the old paintings from 15 years ago, I'm shocked at how good some of them are, because I really didn't know what I was doing back then.
Oh, Peter got a shot, his second vaccine, on Thursday. And Friday he started feeling really, really tired. And by Saturday, he slept 12, 15 hours? He ended up having to call in, and he was just wiped out from that thing. But he has an autoimmune disorder, and I suspect that it put his immune system in overdrive. I'm hoping that when I go get my second vaccine on Tuesday, I don't have that effect. And I scheduled yours for Friday. Your
This
second.
week?
Yes, your second.
Well, I'm hoping it makes me sleepy.
Okay, well then, give it
It's
and sleep.
Because the first one made me sleep fantastic. And,
I've been thinking about that. Of course, it's normal after a vaccine to have a little bit of a response. Your autoimmune system, your immune system kicks in and does a few little things. But I was wondering, how much of this is psychology? We have been in lockdown over a year. Everybody's been on edge. It's been a rough year in a lot of different ways. And I wonder if there's some level of relief that allows us to sleep better knowing, even if we're half vaccinated. I don't know.
well, I don't agree with that hypothesis
No, I was
because
just wondering.
I'm in lockdown all the time because I can't leave the house because I'm forbidden from driving. So, I feel like a prisoner all the time.
Well, that actually started again at the end of April last year when you had a seizure and totaled the car. And you haven't driven since the end of last April.
Yeah, it's
Oh my God. It's been a year since you totaled the car.
Yeah, try living like an 8-year-old for a year, Caught you playing with your wiener again, Lance.
Your parents were terrible.
Oh, yeah, that was frowned upon.
My parents had a normal, healthy approach to sex. Very normal, very healthy. A little embarrassing at times as a kid. It's like, look what your stepfather gave me. Oh my God, put that back in the box, I do. And it's got a matching red one to go with the blue one. Oh my God, put it back in the box.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I don't know. We were living in that little brown trailer in between houses when I was a kid. Maybe this would have been 4th through 5th grade or 4th through 6th, somewhere in there. And I was talking to my mother in her room, and idly I opened a little drawer on the dresser and found, oh God, a pair of frilly panties and bra that had, the panties were crotchless and the bra had holes where the nipples were supposed to poke through.
Whoa. Your mother owned this?
Yes.
Your mother.
And
You have a mother who had something. That doesn't sound like the woman I know.
Well, I must have
Freaked.
looked staggered because she rushed in to explain, oh, those are just gag items your father brought back from Vietnam. And
I bet she never wore them if that's the case.
Probably, but it was most embarrassing.
I've never heard that story. That was really embarrassing for me. It's like the time your mother started talking about blowjobs and went, oh my God, I don't want to hear this, Jane. And that was because your sister's husband got a call, and the guy didn't hang up the call and proceeded to get a blowjob while the phone was recording on Tron's answering service.
Well,
Oh my God.
my mother got a message on her phone years and years and years ago. And it went, like, leave your message, beep. And this woman goes, at you. And the guy goes, bless you. She goes, thank you. And they hung up. I don't know how they did it. It's like, I guess it's just a random gag call or something.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. I've been watching these, what do you call it? They're interviews with old television actors and producers. And it's foundation interviews from the Archive of American Television. And they're interesting because, well, first, there's no ads. But it's just interesting to see these, like for instance, like Gilligan's Island or something. These stupid old crappy shows that I'm embarrassed to have in my memory banks now. But they talk about them from a very business point of view, because they had to put the show together just as seriously as you put together any other show. It's hard to believe that when the shows were being broadcast for the first time, there were people who sat down to watch this dreck and sit through the commercials and, go to the bathroom during the commercial and come rushing back. What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, Gilligan got his head stuck in a coconut. Something. Just,
Again?
yeah, it just, what garbage? Oh my God. When I was a kid, reruns in the morning television, that's how you got to know all these old crappy shows. Oh God, the laugh tracks. Laugh tracks on cartoons. I love that sort of simplistic pastel artwork on the old Pink Panther and Inspector cartoons, but the laugh track, it's just, ugh. They ought to have a special DVD package available where you can watch them without that.
Well, we watched MASH. We watched that, and they had an option to turn it off, so we turned it off. So we watched the entire series with the kids. They really liked it. Of course, nowadays Peter would be going on about sexual harassment.
Yeah, there was, I don't know, a lot of that.
Peter's been in his job for 1.5 years now, and I remember talking to him when he first got started. He absolutely will not broach the idea asking a girl out that he works with. He's just, that is completely unprofessional. And I agree at a certain level, but a lot of these people he really knows really well now, they're reading the same books.
But how would he ask somebody out? He can't take anybody anywhere.
Don't.
It's just...
Don't.
Okay. So my daughter and her boyfriend are settled in, and they split the grocery money where she pays for her beer or wine or whatever, but he pays for his meat, because he doesn't drink and she doesn't eat meat. So I think that's very strange. I've never been as hungry in my life. I mean, I've never known true hunger, but I used to live in this apartment with these two girls, and I had no money. I was working at McDonald's just around the corner from the apartment, and I would steal food from there and bring it home sometimes. But I remember one time, because when you're living in an apartment with somebody, going into the other person's food in the kitchen is it's a commandment. You don't do it. But I remember being so hungry one night, I made some kind of they had some gimmicky product at the time. It was kind of like instant oatmeal, but it came with a little packet of jelly you would squirt on the top or something. And I remember going and grabbing one of these and making it in the middle of the night and feeling really guilty about it. But it's odd when you get that hungry. I can't imagine what living in a famine must be like.
Horrible.
You're eating bugs and shit. I would make, when I worked at McDonald's, I was the opener and get the breakfast ready and everything. And we had a basement where they stored the stuff, stored the supplies. And I would make 2 miniature pancakes and put a piece of sausage between them and hustle downstairs in the basement and gobble it down real fast. Sometimes I smuggle back to the apartment a whole plastic tube of the Canadian bacon. That was
pathetic.
Yeah.
Well, you hear about people who work at these fast food places and Walmarts and stuff like that where they're getting barely minimum wage. They're lucky if they get anything above it. They're on food stamps. Food stamps. These people are employed full time and they qualify for food stamps because they make so little.
If I had known about that at the time, I probably could have qualified.
At one point, when I was working at this warehouse a couple of years ago, I had to write up letters every month attesting to how much some of the employees were making because we had so many employees that were getting food stamps. I had one guy on disability. He was only allowed to work like 16 or 20 hours a week. And I had to document his hours and his wage. Several of them were on food stamps. One guy got something to do with his daughter's care so that he could qualify for after-school programs for the school and forgo a $5 a day fee. And another woman there was the same way because they couldn't afford $5 a day for the school to keep their kids after normal hours. And some of them were working, like I said, part-time. Some were working full-time. Some of them had to accommodate, like one guy, his wife was trying to get disability. I ran into him recently. He said she wasn't able to get disability because they weren't able to afford to go to the doctors to have it documented. She had some kind of nerve problem in her back, and when the swelling would get really bad, it would pinch the nerve and she would lose the use of her legs. She would collapse, and she was in a wheelchair part of the time, and then when the swelling would go down, she was able to have full mobility again. But she didn't qualify for disability, and it took them over 2 years through this process. And he said it's still the same way.
Well, when I was living in that apartment, this is how broke I was. This is back when minimum wage was $3.35 an hour.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And so I get hired at McDonald's, and they're like, well, if you agree to be a breakfast opener, you'll get like an extra 15 cents or whatever it was. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Well, I worked there 6 months, I think it was, and then got a new roommate, and he got a job working for a tree surgeon, trimming lines over power lines for a county EMC. And an opening came up on the 3-man crew, and he said, well, if you quit McDonald's and I'll get you a job, you'll get like an extra 50 cents or something like that. And I'm like, shit, yeah. So I went from working in a kitchen to working outdoors next to power lines with a saw just so I could get the extra couple of quarters, you know.
It's pathetic.
Yeah. Plus, it was 4 10-hour days and 3-day weekends, so that gave you an opportunity to get really drunk, you know, on the weekends.
And great alcohol is as cheap as you can get.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so we've reached the temporal limit here. Anything else to add?
Nope.
All right. See you later. Bye.